بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على أشرف المرسلين وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين وعلى من تبع هداهم إلى يوم الدين. Indeed, all praises due to Allah, and may peace and blessings be upon His Messenger Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa alihi wa sallam. For tonight, inshallah, we'll be finishing talking about the prayer in the description of it from the beginning to the end. And the first part was already talking about the Takbirat al-Ihram until the ruku. And in just short, first of all, the person when he comes to the prayer, he comes wholeheartedly for the sake of the prayer, and he faces the Qibla, and of course after he had made the wudu, and he would raise up his two hands, the two palms, with his fingers not jointed so much and not opened so much in between, and the fingers are to be stretched upwards, and then the earlobe to be in parallel with the we call it the thumb, or the shoulders is in parallel to the thumb. So it's either this or that, and then we go ahead with the putting the hand, the right on the left straight away. And we have described how to put the right on the left on the chest, and then to recite the following. First of all, the dua al-istiftah, and after that al-isti'adah, and then after that the basmala and the fatiha. So this is the first, you could say, pose, or the first silence of the Prophet ﷺ between his fatiha and between his takbirat al-ihram. So this is the silence number one, which is no words. That's when Abu Hurairah has asked the Prophet ﷺ about what he says, as he told him the opening supplication. So that's the first gap. Then after the Surah Al-Fatiha is followed by another surah, and there is no gap. And the third or the second gap, which would be between his recitation and his ruku'. This gap in order for the person to separate between his Quran and his takbirat al-ruku'. So before he goes to the ruku', that is the gap he would leave just a moment in order to as well catch up with his breath, whether he is doing a silent prayer or a loud recitation prayer. Then he would raise up his hand in the way that we taught you regarding Takbirat al-Ihram. Then he would go to the ruku' and he would make the ruku' with tranquility and stretching his back, as we have showed you the last time, saying the adhkar that we have told you about last time. And we emphasize the fact also that there is no recitation of the Quran, for verily the Quran is not to be recited in the ruku' nor in the sujud. But you may use some of the Quranic verses as to be dua and supplication. Then after this, we're going to come to the continuation, that is the part 2, which is coming up from the ruku' onto the Sami Allahu liman hamida, the upright position. And in that raising up, number one, we bear, that is when you raise up in a way which is not exaggerating into your slowness, to be very, very slow, which is a person would say to you that there's something wrong with your back. And of course you will not do it so fast that you are like a rocket. So you do it the normal way. You get up from your ruku' onto your upright position. And in that you would say the dua, Sami Allahu liman hamid. This is to be said by the Imam, and also if you are led by the Imam, to say by yourself as well, following the Imam. So the follower and the Imam would say Sami Allahu liman hamid. So when the Imam says Sami Allahu liman hamida, and he is finished the word hamidah, you start saying Sami Allahu liman hamida. And when you are up, this is when you say your dua for the upright position, which is Rabbana lakal hamd, or Rabbana wa lakal hamd, which is the short one. And this is also can be added with the following: ربنا ولك الحمد حمدا كثيرا طيبا مباركا فيه كما يحب ربنا ويرضى. Or ربنا لك الحمد حمدا ملء السماوات والأرض وملء ما شئت من شيء بعد. Or you could add the ad'iyah which we have taught you in the prayer. You could go back to the book أهل الثناء والمجد أحق ما قال العبد وكلنا لك عبد لا مانع لما أعطيت ولا معطي لما منعت ولا ينفع ذا الجد منك الجد. In that dua which we raise up our hands. So the raising up of the hands here is something that the Prophet of Allah had made continuously, which is Takbiratul Ihram, going down to the ruku', and then when he says Sami'a Allahu liman hamida, in the manner which we have explained of Takbiratul Ihram. That means you could say Sami'a Allahu liman hamida along with the raising up of the hands, or you could say it before or after. So all these three positions are to be done. So, doctor, please stand up and make the ruku' for us, and the ruku', just do the ruku'. Well, we finished all of that. No, the ruku' now. Remember your head is a bit down, that bit down, a bit down. Your head, no, not your back, the head. That's it. It's a habit, by the way. That's the ruku'. Now, Sami Allah liman hamida, you're going to say it loud because the people can say Sami Allah liman hamida.
Sami Allahu liman hamida.
No, you say Sami Allah liman hamida and you are doing it. You don't say Sami Allah liman hamida in the ruku'. The ruku', the ad'iyah, you remember, Sami Allah liman hamida is the dua is in between. If you said it like this, it's wrong because you said it while you're saying the ruku' adhkar. Go on.
Sami Allahu liman hamida.
So the Sami Allah liman hamida is the dhikr in between. Again, what am I going to do? So Sami Allah liman hamida, so the dhikr is in between raising up and between the ruku'. Again.
Sami Allahu liman hamida.
So what's the mistake now? The mistake if the people would do the following is that, doctor, again, to say Sami Allahu liman hamida before you raise up, that's the first mistake. Go on.
Sami Allahu liman hamida.
So if you did this, it's a mistake because you have left this raising up is empty from the dhikr. And the other one, which is a mistake as well, that is go up without saying anything and then say Sami Allah. And that lots of people, they do this, and this is wrong as well. So what is the correct? Is to say while you are going up. Again.
Sami Allahu liman hamida.
Now this is, so the dhikr of raising up is the Sami Allah liman hamida. When you are up, Rabbana lakal hamd, accompanied with the raising up the hands in the three ways that we have mentioned. Go on with them, please.
Rabbana wa lakal hamd.
And this is what? After or before or with?
Before.
Okay.
Rabbana wa lakal hamd. With. Rabbana wa lakal hamd.
So you say Rabbana wa lakal hamd with, before or after of the raising of the hands. Right. Raising of the hands, as I said, with the fingers raised up, yes. So not like that. Don't like this, please. Okay. The up. Right. Same thing to the earlobe or to the shoulders. Okay. Now finished. Now in this as well, you could add. Now when you are in this position, what the people they do as a mistake is that they say Rabbana lakal hamd quick, and they go down without having the tranquility, which is a pillar in that position. Can you just show us, please, Doctor, what the people would do quick when you are saying Rabbana lakal hamd to go down?
Sami Allah liman hamida. Rabbana wa lakal hamd.
Yeah. So he did not basically stop for Rabbana wa lakal hamd in the upright position. So he did not stop. Basically, he just says Rabbana correctly, please, when you're going up, and Rabbana lakal hamd quickly.
Sami Allahu liman hamida. Rabbana.
No, that's correct. I want to be faster. You're not really good.
Sami Allahu liman hamida correctly.
Yeah, and the Rabbana lakal hamd is wrong.
Sami Allahu liman hamida. Rabbana wa lakal hamd.
Still will accept this. I'm going to show you a faster one because look at the people. Okay, that's what I'm talking about. Let me show you. What I'm talking about. Yes, that's the one. You're taking it slowly. Alright, so I want to do that. Sami Allahu liman hamida. Rabbana wa lakal hamd. Okay, so I'm going to do it again. Sami Allahu liman hamida rabbana wa lakal hamd. And that is, you'll find it not just with the normal people, you'll find it as well with the masajid who are affiliated to the madhab of the Hanafi, but Abu Hanifa has nothing to do with it. Okay, so they're affiliated to the madhab of Hanafi, and even some of the imams, they do it, once they are up, you don't find them up, they're already down. Okay, so that's the mistake, I'm sorry. Another mistake, which is they don't straighten up your back. Go on. Sami Allahu liman hamida, don't straighten your back. That's it. Rabbana wa lakal hamd, they go down. Some others people, they extra bend. Can you go to the back? That's it. That's another one. People, they do that. What they do? You're laughing, sir? They do that.
Yes, yes.
That's a normal thing. I mean, have seen it more. Can you do that more? Yeah, that's it. Have you seen people doing this? That's it. Really bend the back, huh? Like this. Rabbana wa lakal hamd. Okay. And they put their Rabbana wa lakal hamd with his other mistake as well. Rabbana wa lakal hamd with your hands like this. That's another mistake.
Sami Allahu liman hamida rabbana wa lakal.
Did you hear that? See that as well? Another mistake. This is the dua. Rabbana wa lakal hamd. That's another dua as well. That's another mistake. Now, of course, the mistake of looking like a fox is accompanied more with prayer. So even in the prayer, there's some people that they look around. That's another mistake which is accompanied more with prayer. Right, after we said Rabbana lakal hamdu hamdan kathiran, now we're going to go takbirat al-sujud. We're going to go to the sujud now. By the way, saying Allahu Akbar, saying Sami Allahu liman hamida, all of that compulsory upon the person. The pillar here is the upright and making sure that you're staying still. If you're not staying still, your pillar will be jeopardizing. You have to stay still. That means at least short while is up. You can't just go down. So, okay. Yeah, for sujood. Right, so the person is going to make the sujood now. When he goes to make the sujood, there's a takbirat al-ihram. Takbirat al-sujud. Takbirat al-sujud, you could raise up the hand with it if you wish. If you wish. So that will be, how many times you raise up the hand when you are up there? Twice. So let's do it with the raising up the hands the second time. So you are on the ruku. Do it and go down.
Sami Allahu liman hamida rabbana wa lakal hamd. Allahu Akbar.
Right, that's good. So that is second one. That's it. I'm going to do the sujood in a minute. Now you should see Allahu Akbar is also raising up the hands. You could do that. But you follow the Imam. If the Imam does it, you do it. If he doesn't do it, you don't do it. But if in your own as well, you practice that. And Allahu Akbar with takbirat or raising of the hands is exactly like takbirat al-ihram. You can do with, before or after. No problem about that. Now when you go down to the sujood. Before you go down to the sujood, there is the upright position. We have something that the Sheikh al-Murajjid did not talk about. I know why he didn't talk about. I believe he follows the Sheikh al-Albani, but because he's done it in Saudi Arabia, he doesn't want to talk about putting the hand right on the left after the ruku'. Sheikh al-Murajjid, he is actually followed with Sheikh al-Albani's book, but in that particular issue, he did not talk about it at all, which is in the YouTube clip of his. So he skipped it basically. So in that position, let me tell you something. If your Imam, I know that your Imam does not put his hand right on the left, you should not put the right on the left. Your Imam doesn't do it. But if you're praying going wrong, if you're praying yourself, you're the Imam, then you pray the way that you think is correct. But we have explained it, I'm not going to go through that. We've had a class full of a hadith regarding this issue, and we believe that the correct opinion is not to put the hand right on the left like we do for the Fatiha and the Surah. But you need to know as well that the following are all to be equal in length. Number one, which is a ruku'. Number two, Sami Allahu liman hamidah. Number three, that is sajda, sujood. And number four, the between the sajda. All of those time-wise is to be what? Almost the same. So all of those four things are to be the same. Sometimes the Prophet did what? He did all of that the same as what? Qiyam. But this isn't not when you are leading the prayer. Prophet did it on his own. Hudayfa, he did not invite Hudayfa to come. He came and joined in. And that's a voluntary. And when the voluntary, it's my voluntary. If you want to join me in, that's no problem, but it's your problem if you couldn't really take it. But the Prophet, when I told Hudayfa, he could have told me, I could have just shortened it because he felt it in his back, or a back problem after his prayer with the Prophet of Allah. So, normally the case, the Imam would do his ruku' and his sujud and his Sami Allahu liman hamid, and between the sajda are almost the same, but not equal to his recitation of the surah of the Fatiha and the Pastor surah. Now going to the sujud, we're going to go to the sujud in the following way. We're going to go first the hands and then the knees. Go ahead. And this is the hands is optional, by the way. Okay, so you again, and slow motion, please. You don't have to put it now. Don't put your hand. Just say Allah without. Yeah. See, that is very comfortable. You come with your hands on your knees. But if you do that, some of the people they do, doctor, I'm not responsible for your knees. Go to your knees, please. All right. That's what the people they do. Oh, so you are practicing hand. Go on. So look at that. The way it is really kneecap. Go on. That's the normal people that do that. Now, you have got carpet here, and you've got, mashallah, and the layer as well, isn't it? You are the Prophet ﷺ, you haven't got that. You've got now pebbles and stones. Will you be able to do that? Show me if you could do that now. The pebbles and that. Kneecap the following day. Straight away, because you're going to break your knees. So, this is how to do it. Again, onto your hands. There, one. Allahu Akbar. So now, I'm going to explain the sujood, because the sujood needs a bit of explanation. So he went to his hands, and his hands, these fingers, they are going to be close to each other. They're not like the Takbirat al-Ihram, where we said you could separate the. So it's joined in, like this. See, look. And all of them, they were towards what? The Qibla. In his sujood, he would open between his hands. The normal way when he does Takbirat al-Ihram is like his shoulders. So he's not doing like this. And he's not doing like some people, they do like that. I've seen them. They do like this. Make the sujood on this like this. That's not right. So you open him like this. Exactly as in your shoulders. So there's no exaggeration. Also, you'll find that his two thighs are not close to each other. So they're not really, like some people they do like this. And then some people they what? Really exaggerate to open it. So it's the normal way. Also, now go to the sujood doctor. You'll notice that his knees, what time is it?
27.
Huh? 29. His knees is not close to his belly. There's a space between his belly and his knees. So some people they do, they really get close like that. See? That's wrong. And some people, they do like that. That's press up, it's not really prayer. Sorry, doctor. Are you okay? We could just shoot please, doctor. So you could see now, look at the hands in parallel. Yeah, this thumb, you see he's relaxed. He didn't really, it comes by natural. The thumb equals to the earlobe. Can you see that? So you could do like this, you could do like that. But you can't do like this. And you can't do like this. Okay, that's not right. So this is the sajda. Yes. You feel comfortable as well. Now, if you are on your own, or the imam, you do like this, which is your underarm. I could see your underarm from here. So you exaggerate. But if you are with the people, you do like this. Okay? So if you are with the group, in the jama'ah, you do like this. If you're not, you do like this. Exaggerations. Exaggerate that even the little sheep can pass between the belly of the Prophet of Allah and the ground here. So if you did like this, he will not be able to pass. So his white armpit will be shown. And remember, your hands always towards the Qibla. And not really so. Now coming to the foot. The foot, also between the knees we said, the normal grab, no exaggeration, as we have said. And also in terms of the feet, you can see that they're stuck together. So they're not like that. There's some people that do like this. They're not like this. Some people do like that. That's jeopardizing of your sujood. And plus, your toes towards the Qibla. So the toes here, when you press on your toes will open naturally. The socks here, I can't see his toes, but there will be a gap in between them, naturally, because you're pressing on top of them. So that is the sujood. In that sujood, you say Subhana Rabbi al-A'la 3 times, or Subhana Rabbi al-A'la wa bihamdihi 3 times, or you could have the adhiya that we have taught you in the book. You refer to the book of the Shaykh al-Albani and there is lots of dua there. But remember to use the dua, not to alternate between other dua. So, if you said Allahumma laka sajad, you keep repeating Allahumma laka sajad, bika amanta laka aslam. If you say Subhana Rabbi al-A'la bihamdihi, say Subhana Rabbi al-A'la bihamdihi, Subhana Rabbi al-A'la, and you keep repeating. You don't really alternate in the same sajda. That's the proper sujood you could really make. Now the other issue is that the nose is touching the floor. How many limbs they should be touching in the sujood? 7. Let's count them together. Hand, that's 2. Knee and knee, that's 4. Foot and foot, that's 6. What is the 7th?
Nose.
The forehead. The forehead and the nose. So some people, can you show me that you're doing on your forehead and the nose? Some people do like this. Your sajda is gone and your prayer is gone. You have to touch the nose and the forehead. So put it the proper way. That's it. Right, you can sit down now. I think we got only 2 minutes left before the adhan. After, inshallah, the prayer, we will talk about in between the sajda. How do we do it in between the sajda? Do you have any question? One question I'm going to tolerate. One question. تفضل يا أستاذ. وأخواننا أنا أنصح بعدم وضع الأذان في التليفون يا شيخ. أنا أنصحها وإني أكون ناصحا أمين. هذا فيه استخفاف بدين الله عز وجل. ما يجوز وضع مؤذنات تؤذن هكذا. المؤذن الآن حقيقي ضع فقط منبه والتنبيه يكون إما بتيت واحدة تيتين تنتين خلاص ينبهك بالأذان. نعم. لا انتقلت في هنا والله مش
سمع الله لمن حمده الإمام يقول الله أكبر احنا نقول الله أكبر بعد ما يقول الإمام ولا
طيب رجع مرة ثانية اعمل سمع الله لمن حمده. طيب ايش الخطأ هنا؟ Anybody spot the mistake? Yes. رئيس الامتحان لازم رفع اليدين بعد ما تستوي. مرة ثانية سوي زي ما أنا. لا ترفع يديك. رفع يدين هذا تعرف مش مرتبط؟ مرتبط مع ربنا ولك الحمد، مش مرتبط مع سمع الله لمن حمده. عيد مرة ثانية. راح تسمع هنا وانت بتطلع، احكي سمع الله وانت بتطلع يلا. الآن ربنا لك أحسنت. طيب سؤالك الآن يكون مع الإمام. الله أكبر. Everything you do after the Imam, except Ameen with the Imam, because of the hadith. So, Sami Allah liman hamidah, he says, you say after the Imam, Sami Allah liman hamidah. When you are with the upright, you say Rabbana wa lakal hamd. You cannot synchronize with the Imam because you can't hear the Imam saying Rabbana wa lakal hamd. But if your Rabbana wa lakal hamd synchronizes with the angels, then all your sins are being forgiven. That hadith of Shaykh Mashhur, he says it could be the same hadith as the hadith of he synchronizes his Ameen, Allahu A'lam, and he says it came from the same makharaj. It could be one hadith and nothing to do with Rabbana wa lakal hamd. I left that with the Shaykh and he said I'm going to do more checking for that. But anyway, you follow the Imam and behind the Imam, not with the Imam. Jazakallahu khairan for that question. Alhamdulillah wa salatu wa salamu ala Rasulullah. Someone, the doctor himself, he just wanted to as well demonstrate one of the mistakes in the sujood, because we cannot really counter for all these mistakes, you know, that people would do. But some of them, they need to be addressed because it's a common mistake. So going back to the sujood, before you go to the sitting between the two sajda, the doctor had pointed out the following mistake, which is, okay, this is where the feet they are actually not pointing towards the Qibla, but they are being flattened. Okay? That's a mistake in the sujood. And also another one which came to my mind as well regarding the prayer mistakes, that is, you do your hands like the dog. That's it. That's a common mistake, where the elbows are on the ground. It's like a dog or a beast. We're not supposed to imitate any type of animal while we're prostrating or we're praying. So this is a common mistake what the people they do in the sujood. Now, in between the sajda, after we finish the sajda, we say Allahu Akbar. And this Allahu Akbar, you could raise up your hands if you are on your own or if you are the imam. But if you are following the imam, you have to do what the imam is doing. So, now, after the sujood, say Allahu Akbar. That's without raising the hands. You want to raise the hands is exactly in the way you raised up the hands in the takbirat al-ihram. That is with, after, or before. So let's just do the three of them. I'm not gonna, you said do it, doctor? That's with. That's before.
Allahu Akbar.
And that's after. You almost with it. Just after it's wait and then do it. Okay? Right, now, again.
Allahu Akbar.
Doctor, you say Allahu Akbar not at the end, be careful. The Allahu Akbar has to be either triggered, you just read coming, but not when you finish.
Allahu Akbar.
That's better. So remember, don't say sit and then say Allahu Akbar. Alright. Now in that, between the two sajda, the following is dua, which is Rabbi ighfirli warhamni wahdini wa'afini wajburli, or Rabbi ighfirli, Rabbi ighfirli, Rabbi ighfirli. You can continue doing this. Now in that, between the two sajda, there are two ways of sitting down. This is the way which is what doctor is doing, which we call it iftirash. What he's doing now is putting his right foot in the upright position, with his toes pointing to the Qibla, and the toes will be having space, naturally. In between them, the toes will have space. And as for the left foot, he is flattening it, and he's sitting on that left foot of his. So that is the first type of sitting down between the two sajda. And there's another one, which is, we call it, what is that? Al-Iq'a. Al-Iq'a. This is the Iq'a, which we call it the Sunnah Iq'a. And this is, by our Shaykh al-Albani, is to be authentic, even though that some of the shuyukh, like find, for example, Shaykh al-Albani, they don't really approve that because the hadith for them is not authentic. But this is authentic. Can you show it to me, doctor, because I want to see it as well? That's the Iq'a. So that's the Iq'a. The Iq'a is not to separate between the feet and not to do the Iq'a of the monkey. Show them the Iq'a of the monkey. There's two ways. One, which is that one, and that is the buttocks is in between the 2 feet. And the other one, can you do that? The other one? Monkey. I know you're not a monkey, but no. Anybody like to do the second one? It's like that, brother. Can you see it? That's it, like that, brother. Like you. Yes. You're not a monkey, but you still like a monkey. This is the way. So that's a monkey, you see? This is not allowed in the prayer. So again, that's number one, sitting. And the number two is the buttocks on the floor. That's not allowed. So the correct one, turn yourself please doctor towards me and do that. That is, and this as well, you're equalizing time-wise between it and the sujood and the ruku' and between the, and that is the upright position. Sami Allahu liman hamida rabbana lakal hamd. From the mistakes as well, the hands. When you put the hands, this is number one mistake. Let's just put the correct one. The correct way is that your fingers end up with your knees. And please join them together. That's it. Join them together. So your fingers, it ends up with your knees. The mistake number one is that they put, and by the way, your elbows, make sure that they are away from your thighs. They're not touching, are they? Okay. So the mistake number one is that they go down with your hands, that's it. Mistake number one. Mistake number two, that the elbows stick to your thigh. That's not right as well. It's not correct. Okay, doesn't say that. Anybody will add to the state that the people don't invent one. You've seen somebody doing it. Huh? You see, like this as well. This is takhassur as well. This is really not right as well. You know, I haven't seen people making the proper takhassur. Have you seen people doing like this? I have never seen it. But they call it in the books. They say it's a mistake. But I haven't seen that yet. So this one I have seen, the one that you just said. Yeah, exaggerating or going putting it to the, you know. Right. Now coming to the sajda, second sajda, the same thing. Allahu Akbar. You go to the second sajda. The brother, you want to sit down, sit down. The brother, you want to go, it's up to you. Okay, this is the second sajda. And the same thing that you've done in the first sajda. Now, after that, get up, Allahu Akbar. No, you sit, get up. And this one just saying, how are you going to get up to the second rak'ah? Correct. By the way, the sisters, can they see? No. I'm sorry, sisters, you know, you've been out of this, all of it. It's not really right, it's not really fair. How can we just transfer to them? Okay, well, you're going to wife, but your wife has got other sisters to look at it. Sure. Really, they shouldn't be seen. They should be seen. That doesn't matter. Right, okay. It doesn't matter, actually. The second, when he sits down, stand up for the second rak'ah, there's something called Jalsat al-Istiraha. Jalsat al-Istiraha, the sitting of rest, to rest basically. That Jalsat al-Istiraha is exactly what the doctor is doing, and it's just a moment, and there's no dua in it, and he's going to get up. No, don't get up like that. Hanafi way. He's going to get up, yeah, with this way, which is called ajn. Al-ajn means like you make it a dough. You know the dough, make the bread. Again, the ajn. Okay. This is the ajn. Now people, they do it this way. Now, I mean, if your mother does ajn like this, which is common, it's no problem, inshallah. It's up to you. And I feel that this is the most comfortable way. If you want, if I do this, but for me, this one maybe is not really as strong. But ajn is actually basically is holding the hand like a fist and punching the floor with it. That's the ajn. So whether you're going to do it like this or that, we don't have a proof to say which way. But the ajn, the normal one, is like this. I have seen my mother doing like this always. I never seen it doing like this. Okay. So, but if you think that people that do it like this as well, no problem. You do it like this as well. Now, when you make ajn and you get up, so the first thing you're going to get up is your knees and then your hands. Go on, do it, doctor. Like that. Knees first, then the hand. What's the mistake that the people would do? Go down. That is the common mistake, which is to stand up on your knee without the hands. Look at that. That is pain. Very painful. This is for somebody who's agile, go to the gym, maybe you will do it. But somebody who's really old and can't do that one. And this is the one that makes you the kneecap, which is two things. Going onto your knees, it's number one. It's a kneecap, and the second one, which is the one that doctor is going to do it, that's going to be a back breaking pain. It's not right. So the normal, the good way is to punch on the floor, and get up. Knees first, and then the hands. That's the way to do it, and that's the comfortable way. Now the sitting of the rest, even if your imam doesn't do it, you could do it because it does not show that you are differing from the imam. It does not show, because it's a flat one. So it's just to sit, basically, and making sure that you settle, and then you get up. Right. After that, can you sit down, brother? You can't sit. You can't see when you're sitting down. You can't. Okay, the sister can't see. No. You mean the door? Oh, really? Can the doctor go? I didn't know that. Can the brother sit down, please, so the sisters can see? I will tell you what. Can you just open that area and just sit down, everybody there, on that area, please? Yes. I didn't know that. You didn't tell me. No, interrupt. It's too late now, interrupt. I gotta do the whole thing again. Sure. Can I just ask you, brother, because the sister want to see, huh? I'll fulfill the question, don't worry. You will ask as much as you want. Again, I'm going to do the go to now. Full prayer, please. Full prayer. From the beginning. Full prayer. Yeah. But quickly, don't first say the Fatiha. So Takbirat al-Ihram, you can face the Qibla, look at the way that he sits. The way he stands up, look at that. So look at the way he stands up. No, before you Takbirat al-Ihram, before Takbirat. Look at the way he stands up. Look at this gap between his feet. It's equivalent to his shoulder. You'll find so many people that, they're giving you a headache by doing like this. How am I going to be touching your feet and my shoulder to your shoulder? Unless you're really that thin. Okay? How am I going to touch you? Some people, no. This is the way, the common way. No. The common way. That's the Hanafi. Yeah. But. So how can I touch your feet and you touch your shoulder? How can I? It's impossible for me to touch your feet and shoulder. So the brother, when he does like this, when my shoulder touches your shoulder, I have to stretch so hard with my feet to reach you. Don't do that. If he doesn't want to open between his feet, don't stretch your feet. So you don't do the other mistake, which is the other mistake. That is. When I do like this, how can I touch your shoulder? So I need to make in like that. Correct. That is the way to do it. In the army, they teach us when you go to the army, is that the gap in between your feet, if you could just twist your foot like 90 degrees like that. That's it. Touch the other one. That's when you put the other one where. See? So that's the measurement. Yes. See? That's the army how they do it. And I'm not doing to do the arm and twist your foot and then you touch your arm or kneecap or something. I'm just telling you how so this is the natural way. Now, if it's the natural way, make sure as well my feet are with toes towards the Qibla. What the people they do? They stand up like a duck. Look at the duck. That's a duck, yeah. They're not the ducks. So how can I touch my knees to your ankles to your ankles? How can I do that? It should be straight, as much as you can. So this is the way to stand up. Not the way which is, again, that's the normal way, isn't it? If I do like this, so the toes will be touching from the front, but the back one is absolutely with a big gap. Not right. So straight, like this. Correct, towards the Qibla. Now, Takbirat al-Ihram, you're standing before Allah. Allah is watching you. Allah, He is in front of you. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said the hadith, قال لا يزال الله مقبلا على العبد في صلاته. So He's in front of you. He's talking. So what you are doing to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. No, go ahead.
Allahu Akbar.
So he went straight away from Takbirat al-Ihram up to the what? Right and to the left. He did not go Allahu Akbar and went down. No, Allahu Akbar straight away, right to the left. This is the way to put the right and the left, whether it is women or men, the same thing. On the chest. Don't do it like before. Please watch the part 1 of the video. I'm not going to go again, but this is the right way. Now, ruku' after Fatiha. Please, ruku'.
Allahu Akbar.
So now his ruku' is, at the moment, he's done it. He's raised up the hands first and then his ruku'. So you could do it together. Your Allahu Akbar, whispering the hands. But watch now the ruku'. His knees is being captured by his clothes, like a cloth. See that cloth? If you can't see it, watch, show them. Can you rotate, doctor, to them? What are you doing? Rotate. Because people want to see you as well, another side. No. Doctor, rotate. That's it. So that people can see. So that is how you will catch your knees. Look at your elbows. There's a slight bending. And it's not touched to the thigh. Don't make a mistake. I don't want to do the mistake. Just do the right thing. Look at his head, how it's level with his back. Don't do other than that. Go back now to this. Sami Allahu liman hamidah. No, doctor, no. Don't leave that empty when you're going out. That's a common mistake. You're doing what you're doing. Don't go into autopilot.
Sami Allahu liman hamidah.
That's it.
Rabbana wa lakal hamd.
Correct. So you see, Sami Allahu liman hamidah while he's raising up. He's not when he finished. Again.
Sami Allahu liman hamidah. Rabbana wa lakal hamd.
Can I ask you, doctor, to be honest? Were you before doing like this or before something like that when you get up? Because it's a habit.
I think I used to do
Stand up.
it right at the end.
Yeah, right at the end. You go into what your autopilot, I know
Right
that.
at the end.
So now we're going to change your auto default pilot into while you're going up.
Yeah.
Now, see, look, no.
That's what I used
You're
to
too
say.
late, yeah.
That's what I used to say.
Yes,
Sami Allahu liman hamidah.
correct.
Rabbana wa lakal hamd.
Very well done. Now he said, Rabbana lakal hamd, and he went down with his hand on his side, and then he's going to go to the sujud.
Allahu Allahu Akbar.
You could raise up your hand with that one, it doesn't matter. He went with his hands first, then his knees. Look at his elbows away from his body, as long as he's on his own or the imam, not with the people. The people he will put their, can you just bend them together please, the elbows just a bit, because the people will be annoyed. And you can see the feet at the back, they're stuck together. The toes are spread and they're pointing towards the Qibla. So that's the sujud. Then Allahu Akbar.
Allahu Akbar.
Remember the nose is touching as well. And then he would say the dua here, and you could do the other one, which is sitting on the iqaa, like this between the two sajda. And then after that, Allahu Akbar.
Allahu Akbar.
If you're doing the iqaa, remember that it will be coming naturally for the sajda. Because you can do iqaa, you don't have to do anything with your feet. They stay the same. Okay, now he's going to go to the Jalsa al-Istiraha before he stands up. So stand up for the second rak'ah.
Allahu Akbar.
Look at that. This is how we do it. So what's the mistake? Can we do it without Jalsa al-Istiraha, please?
Allahu Akbar.
Yes. That's two mistakes. Jalsa al-Istiraha has gone, and plus he went into his knees first without the hands. That's two mistakes altogether. Right. Now we're going to go to the Tashahhud. So let's say that you are in the second rak'ah and you're making Tashahhud. Tashahhud is as follows. You say he's sitting the same, which is called Iftirash. This is the Iftirash. His hand like that. And he's going to, as soon as he sits down for the second Tashahhud, second sajda, he's going to be after the second sajda, he's going to point his finger straight away. Pointing the finger this way. Okay. Right. This is the point of the finger. Look at that. He's doing it here. He's not doing it here, by the way. He's not doing it here. Because people, they do like that as well. He's doing it here. That's what it is. Because his hands originally was that. So what he does, just like this. Either this way or that way. This way or that way. That's the only way. Now, towards the Qibla, and he is moving slightly. Like that. Now the mistake that the people they do, that is number one, they don't raise up the finger until the what? They say Ashhadu la ilaha illallah. And they did it only once or twice and that's it. Second mistake, some people do it like this. That's not right. There's no sunnah because hina, because I've seen it in the video, that's not right. It has to be towards the Qibla. Your eyes looking at it, not your head. It's not like that. It's just your eyes towards the finger. Fingers pointing to the Qibla and you are moving. Some people are doing the, let me do it myself. Can you hold my microphone please? Because I'm going to show some mistakes. And when I do it, I remember lots of mistakes. First of all, I'm doing now, this is correct everything, but I'm going to do the mistakes into the Tashahhud. First mistake, as I said before, is Ashhadu la ilaha illallah wa ashhadu anna Rasulullah, that's it. Do others. That's the first mistake. Second mistake, common mistake I'm talking about, that the people they do, like instead of moving the finger like this, do like this. And this is the brothers, some of the brothers. That's not right. This is called up, down, up. It's not movement. The movement is like this. Some of the mistakes I've seen, that the movement is not natural, like this. That's not movement. That's not really, this is waving. Okay? Some of the movement, some of the people, they do like this. Okay? I don't know, this is as well, where did they get it from? Some people, they do it like that. Some people do it like this. Two fingers. That's the common mistake. Some people, I have seen them, they do it like this. When they sit down, it's like they're putting a gun. Okay? That's not right as well. So these are the mistakes in the finger. The mistakes into the Tashahhud is also that the people, when they read the Tashahhud, they don't read the Tashahhud in full. You're going to say the Salah Tashahhud upon the Prophet of Allah, and you're going to as well the Salah al-Ibrahimiyya. So the Tashahhud and the Salah al-Ibrahimiyya. So Tahiyyatu lillahi wa salawatu wa tayyibat. And also, after that, Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala ali Muhammad. And also, after that, the du'as. The rest of the du'as you start with, that the Prophet of Allah, he taught to Abu Bakr. Allahumma inni dhalamtu nafsi dhulman kathira. ولا يغفر الذنوب إلا أنت فاغفر لي مغفرة من عندك وارحمني إنك أنت الغفور الرحيم. Please check the book. And the last one, اللهم اغفر لي ما قدمت وما أخرت وما أسررت. All of that in the middle tashahhud and the last tashahhud, no difference in between them. So this is the dua, and you say in your tashahhud, whether it's the middle or the last one. Now, also from the mistakes that the people they do, that they don't really look at their fingers. They look everywhere, but they don't look at the finger. You have to look at the finger all the time, all the time. And this is the finger is basically like a rod onto the shaitan, as we have said. And it's actually you're making concentration on that finger, and while you're making dua. Remember, every time shaitan comes, what you do, ista'id billah, that's your left. Don't do like this. It's not like that. So, right. So that's 3 times to make sure that the shaitan will go. Right. After that, with the mistakes as well of the tashahhud, is we could say that the people they do like this. I've just said that. What else as well? Anybody would like to add to these mistakes? Yes. Somebody say like this. Yes, that's true. That is true. I've seen like this and that one as well, which is because it comes from the Moroccan areas, and Algeria they do like that. I've seen them, which is making like a circle. That's not tahrik. This is not tahrik al-isba'. All right. So that's not. We've done this. We've done that one. We've done this. So which one I think? Please don't invent please the mistake that the people they do. Some people do like this. Maybe a person who's a jahil. I've seen people doing like this as well. Like that. Okay? No, you have to make the aqd like this. Or like that. You have to be like what? Either this or halaqah. So these two always what? Closed. This one could be closed, or this one could be like this. So we call it 90. Like this. So this is the tashahhud. I remember in the sujud, a mistake which I have seen some people, they're very rare, but I've seen it. People do like that. You see that? Yeah. That's a jeopardization of the whole sujud. Straight away, your sujud is not accepted. Right. After we have done now the second, we go to the second rak'ah. If there is a third rak'ah, or the fourth rak'ah, there's a fourth rak'ah. The last tashahhud is exactly the same, except that you make tawarruk. What is the tawarruk? The tawarruk is basically you sit on your thigh, left one, and to make yourself sitting properly, you need to yalqamu. That is his knee. He was like you are like that. Okay. And this has to be straight. Like this. And my tashahhud is the same. This is like this. And look at my foot is like this. Which is, I'm going to show it to everyone. These two, now there are 4 ways of doing this. 4 ways. Way number 1, which is the one like this. Way number 2 is like that. So the toes are what? Flattened. Way number 3 is like this, but this is in between here. Way number 4 is like that. I'm going to repeat again. Way number 1 is this way. Way number 2 is this way. Way number 3 is that way. Okay. Way number 4 is that way. Okay? So these are the 4 ways of doing this called tawarruk. In that tawarruk, what are the mistakes? Mistakes number 1, they don't do tawarruk. Mistakes number 2, what was that? Do like this. This is not right. What is wrong with it? That feet of yours is going to annoy the person who's next to you. That's not. It's supposed to be in line. It's supposed to be underneath. It's not supposed to be sticking out. If you stick out, you're going to annoy the person next to you. So you're not going to do that. See, people are doing this. You're going to see that half of their foot is outside. How are you going to sit down, another person? Because remember, you're going to sit. So I'm going to be like that, covering. And when you want to practice, you will do it. So maybe first time you're going to be doing like that. Okay, first time. But you're going to be, after practice, you're going to be, mashallah. So I just prayed now on the Maghrib prayer. MashaAllah, between the 2 brothers, Doctor, I think you, and somebody else as well. And it was really comfortable. Everybody, he's made his tawarruk. He made you tawarruk, you're happy. I made my tawarruk, I was happy. If you don't make tawarruk, another person is next to you, make tawarruk, you're not going to feel comfortable. Because when you make tawarruk, you tilt naturally to the left. So if you did not make tawarruk, it's going to be what? Pushing you. So he's be what? Naturally as well, he tilting to the left. Until the last one tilting to the wall. But when you tilt, you don't tilt like this. Tilt them is just a natural, just a bit. This one's going to hold you all the time. I have now finished all the salah except for the salutation. Last thing is the salutation as follows. Salutation is done in the following 4 ways and no 5th way. You'll find such in the masjid, Hafidhahullah, there is a 5th way which is not authentic. Way number 1, which is you turn, and he has said, you say it while you're turning. No, you turn first, because you're saying it there. You're not saying it like this. Turn first until your cheeks is showing to the back. So, if you did like this, your cheeks is not showing. It has to be like this. So, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. And then you turn to the left. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. You have to be putting up the side of it, please. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. So this is the first way. No, sorry. This is the wrong way. This is the Shaykh Murajjid way, which is not right. Again, I'm going to do the wrong way. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. This one, you'll find in Sunnah Abi Dawood, but Shaykh Al-Albani says, shadda, it's not right. So this one is not right. And I believe that if he knew what Shaykh Al-Albani was saying at the end, I don't think he will do it. He will not be saying it. So the correct one is, the number 1 is, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. That's the complete one. Second one. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. The same ones, which is lots of people that do it. Third one. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Assalamu alaikum. So I took rahmatullah here. You can see here always you will find either equal or the right is what? More. Always Allah's messengers used to do under the what? The right. Always the writing of the right is always more honorable. That's why. Third, so the last one is no turning. It's just slight tilting. So it's not turning like this, it's slight tilting like this. Assalamu alaikum. That is the last one. Assalamu alaikum is the last one. So now what are the mistakes? Mistake number 1 is the tilting of the head is not complete. So you say Assalamu alaikum Allah, Assalamu alaikum. This is the new fashion of the youth. Lazy salam. Say Assalamu alaikum Allah, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Where is your cheek? You have to turn. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. It's not like this. This is lazy. The other one, which is the brothers who are keen to do it, but they don't know the sunnah, so they exaggerate of doing it. And there's a number of ways of doing it. Number 1, that is a person who says, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah, goes look to the back of the brow. And it's Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. That's mistake number 1. Mistake number 2, some people, they are actually tilting the neck with a movement. So there's like this, and I've seen it, this is people following the films actually, movies, you know. So, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. It's being taken from the Sufis, by the way. Because the Sufis say Allah, Allah. You understand me? So it's been taken from them. So, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. That's not right. Because it's not alim. So the normal one, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. As I said, lots of other people, they do exaggeration. But if you have any to add, which is something that you know, I don't want to have exaggeration. I don't want Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Assalamu alaikum. That's, yeah, some people they do it. So I know some people they do it. It's very rare. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. You seen that? Yeah, you see it? As a common mistake. He opens his hand. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. It happened to me that next to me was a person, and he was 1 rak'ah missing, I remember. And I was next to him. I finished my prayer, I was doing an adhkar. So he finished next to me, I remember. He said, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. So I thought he was saying salam to me. He said, Wa alaikum salam. He opened his hand. So, Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullah. And then he said, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Some things that happens and be documented, inshallah. Do you have anything else to add?
There's others that where they stop in the middle.
Can you just put one by one? I want to understand. Go on.
So, Assalamu alaikum, they stop in the middle for a pause.
Okay. There's another mistake. Say, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. That's the wrong one as well. Jazakallah khair. Yes?
Some people salam to the shoulder, not to the side.
So some people say, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. What else? We're adding to the video. Any mistakes as well? Fadal?
Before the salam, some people do this.
Okay, some people is it?
Not just people.
I mean, khalas.
They lift the hand.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Assalamu alaikum. But the Shia, Rafida, they don't say salam. They do like this. Do you know what they say? What they mean by this? Khan al-Amin. Jibreel as-salam had made the khiyana, the treachery, by giving the Prophet to whom? Prophet to Allah said about him. Khan al-Amin. They don't do salam. They never do salam. The Shia, the Rafida. Bye. Jazakallah khair. Anyone? Hang on a second. You want the adults? Just the adults, please. Okay, do the sajda.
In sajda, we mentioned the mistake of like the dog, but the Hanafi women are actually told to pray like that.
Okay. The women are to be made. Can you just ask you for the sisters to be made like that, to be prayed like this? Yeah.
Yeah. It's to be on the floor as well. And sit on it. Can I show you?
Yeah, sure.
Start the raise.
Yeah. Can I just ask you, just open that path always. Okay, to do like this.
Properly sit lines.
You mean have to cover this area? Okay. No, they don't. You see, problem is, I will tell that the sisters, they pray with the sisters. They don't pray with the men. They're not supposed to pray in the presence of people who are strangers, unless they have been pushed. They're not supposed to be making people behind them to look at them, because the sisters are an object of temptation. I'm not saying an object is a matter, but I'm saying that they are temptation, and that's why they should be covered. They're not supposed to be showing anybody who's behind them. This is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala how He created us, so we have to make sure that we are covering those points that would bring, the lust of the man. Now, any other thing? Further?
Question, Sheikh.
Yes.
If you're praying on a chair, what should be the position of your feet and your knees in your sujud? And between the sujud.
Okay, I'm praying on a chair. Can I bring a chair, please? Praying on the chair. Praying on the chair is praying on the chair is not allowed in the obligatory prayer except for the person who cannot sit and make prostration. If you can sit in prostration, you're not allowed to sit on the chair. Because once you sit on the chair and you are able to prostrate, then you have missed 3 pillars. Sajda number 1, sajda number 2, and the pillar between them, the sajda, which is between the sajda. 3 pillars have been missed. So if you can sit and prostrate, you're not allowed to sit on the chair. So the chair is only allowed for the people who cannot what? Sit and prostrate. These are the ones allowed. So they could be, for example, they can't stand up, or they could stand up, but they can't what? Go to the sujud. They can't go to the knees. They can't sit down on the floor because there's something wrong there. But if you sit down, if there's nothing wrong, you have to sit and pray sitting down like this. I want to see people who are unable to sit on the floor. I haven't seen yet. I haven't seen it. I miss these people. What are they? I'm just seeing people chair. The chair phenomenon now. It's really gone so much extreme these days. So where are the people sitting on the floor? They can't. So even if they are, let's say that there are people who they can't stand up, then we'll say to them, sit down on the floor. As long as you're comfortable like this, and you make prostration. And you can't make prostration like this, you could make prostration onto your what? Onto your side, like this. Or onto the back, like that. So these are the people who are unable to do it. So the chair is only for the person who cannot sit. If you can't sit, you can't have a chair. If you're on the chair, then there are two ways. Either that you can stand up, or you can't stand up. If you can't stand up, then you're going to be sitting on the chair in line with your body with the people. And that is comfortable to everybody, even to the one at the back, because you're not causing them any trouble. So if you are not standing up at all, you can't stand up, so you sit in the chair like this, and you make takbirat al-ihram when you are sitting there. But if you stand up, you're not allowed to make takbirat al-ihram sitting down. It's not accepted. So your body will be in line with the people. That means that the legs of the chair and you see that body of yours standing up is in line with the people like this. Can I just ask you and you? Can you get up and stand up? Look, you're playing next to me. So you are one side here, one side. Okay, either one. Okay, so that's it. So I'm between them, like this. So my shoulder is in parallel to their shoulders. Okay, that's how we pray, and it's comfortable for the people behind me as well. Now, in that position, sit down. In that position, sisters come here. In that position, I am going to be doing the takbirat al-ihram, Allahu Akbar. Exactly the same. Fatiha, Surah, ruku', hands on the knees, and look, same thing. Holding with the cloth and doing ruku'. Now, Sami Allahu liman hamida. Sujud, no cloth now. I'm going to put my hands, not like that. Not like that. This is not right. You're not holding on the air. It's lots of people are doing it. You're like this, on your knees, sujud. So your sajda is lower than your what? Your ruku. It's very slightly. Don't exaggerate because you don't want to break your back. That's sujud, and that's ruku. Sujud, and that's ruku. Sorry, ruku, and that's sujud, bit lower. Right. Well, the mistake that the people they do, they bring to themselves something raised up in order to make sujood on it, like a table. Especially in the aeroplane. People that they open the tray for their food and they start putting prostration on it. It's not right. Okay? It's not right. Either you go and stand up and look for a place to stand up and pray in the plane. If you can't, then you pray like this. That's a sujood, not to put something on top of it. And there is as well, I just said to you before, the bid'ah chair. The bid'ah chair, they call it the sajda chair. And you will not believe that. Huh? Have you ever seen that space chair? You haven't? Okay. Let me just show it to you so everybody can see what I'm talking about. I'm putting it here into funny religious pictures. So religious pictures, religious images. Okay. That is sujood chair. Can you see it? That's a bid'ah. That's not right. They're making it so the people can't. You see it? That's not right. Okay. Right, okay. Now, finish now with if you stand up. Now, the person who could stand up, he could stand up, and he cannot sit. So you're going to make takbirat al-ihram standing up, but now, here we go. When he stands up, he has to be in line with the people. So he has to be like that. Not in front of the people. And his chair is lining up with the people. It's not like that. Well, how can he make takbirat al-ihram on his own? So it has to be like this. Now this is where the people are going to be when behind him a bit struggling. Because it's taking some space. But it doesn't matter. Okay, we put behind him, small children. So he stand up like this, feet to feet, not chair to chair, or feet to the chair. Okay? And takbirat al-ihram is standing up, and when he sits down for ruku', so it's going to be Fatiha, whatever he wants he can do. So before he sit down, if he's able to drag his chair, just like this, slightly, this chair is not really good. This is not, you can't pull this chair. This is not rubbish. But when you pull it, it goes instantly. It pulls. So you pull the chair a bit, and then you line up yourself like this. That's if you can. So the people behind you will be happy now to prostrate. If you can't, it's up to you. لا يكلف الله نفسا إلا وسعها. Allah just gonna burn it. Yes, that's what I'm saying. elitist, I want it. So this is now standing up with the brothers for Takbir al-Ihram. Once they're going to go to ruku', we're going to go to ruku' as well like this, isn't it? Same thing. Sami Allahu liman hamida, and then going to be now sajda. When you go to sujud, just like push right. No, you stay there, stay there. Okay, so I'm just like this, and that's it. Sujud. So I'm lined up with the people, and behind me. That's mashallah. I've seen some of the masajid made bid'ah. Hasana. Which is okay. The brothers have made like this chair, which is, it's got a spring. It's like this, the chair. So they are making their, mashallah. So as soon as he comes to the sujood, it'll open by itself. And he sits. Do you understand me? And then when he gets up, by itself it locks. And then you'll be lined up with the people. That is very good. That's technology. It's bid'ah not in the deen. They're doing it, no problem. Did you understand that? And he's done it, and he's got pilot chairs. He's calling it pilot chairs. Very well done. This is a brother who's a Salafi, mashallah. I've done that. And they really liked it, because the way he done it, alhamdulillah. But the problem is that these chairs occupy places. See, if they are to be lifted and put, yes, but when they're stuck there, not every time you're going to find what? People who are incapable of praying, so you're going to take from the space. So what he did about 2 chairs in the front, 2 chairs at the back. Yeah, what about the 2 chairs at the back? The person who, let's say we have more people who are incapable, disability. They're not ready to be pushed to the back. They have the right to go in the front. So I would like these chairs to be on the wall. Whenever there's been needed, we'll bring it to the man. Not to be stuck like in the Bangladeshi masjid in East London. You'll find, I don't know, you see them? So many chairs, and even some people sit in the back. It's not a cinema, it's a masjid. Yeah. And it's empty. It's empty. So, for me, I just take these chairs and put them like this, and I'm gonna sell my place in the first one. Whether they like it or not, I just put it in the wall, let them fight with me. And put it like this, and I pray. Because it's not the chair that's going to take my place. So these chairs, as I said, it became a phenomenon, and it's not really good. It's not really healthy. Right, now we're going to go to the question. Let me sit down, please. What time is it now? 30 what? 36. Alhamdulillah, you got enough question. Uncle number 1. Question, uncle. Huh? Yes, you could read it, postpone and tell them. Okay, tafadhal. Yeah. Always when you are reciting your Fatiha and your Surah and your Adhkar and your Tashahhud and all of that has to be with moving the lips. Has to be, otherwise we're not going to be accepted. You have to be with the lips, but don't make a noise. Don't make a noise. Move the lips and that's it. Tafadhal, Shakil. جلسة الاستراحة. Can I do the iqaa? No iqaa in جلسة الاستراحة. Only افتراش. Okay?
How do you make sujood of the
Tarawih? I've never seen that we have come to the point where the people they have to prostrate at the back. I haven't seen it yet. Okay, so I don't think they will be comfortable. They're not going to allow it. Just to prostrate on their back, basically. If you understand me? So we have, alhamdulillah, enough space outside, and I urge the brothers here that you have enough space not to start praying next to the imam. The imam has to be on his own. The imam is not comfortable, ikhwan. This is not right. From his right and his left, yes, I have told that before. It's in case of, like for example, Jumu'ah. But in the case of Taraweeh, not every night we have what? Full Taraweeh. Especially after the 4 rak'ah, lots of people leave. So basically, we should really leave the space. First one is for the imam. And then after that, first row, second row, that's how it is. Only in the extreme, like the Jumu'ah, because we don't have, otherwise we're going to make another Jumu'ah. So that's okay. But this is in Taraweeh, first night and second night, and after that they're going to be normal. And you're going to come the last night of Ramadan, maybe you're going to come just the 27th night of Ramadan. Aina. Alhamdulillah, we have the outside as well, where the park there, inshallah. And when we have another floor, inshallah, with extension, inshallah. When is it finished? Very soon? Inshallah. So you're going to have it before next Ramadan? خلاص, I'll take away your word for it. طيب, تفضل.
Brothers who, for example, when you come out of the sujud, like you said,
With a fist.
Those open one.
With the open one, it's not right, but it's correct. I mean, the prayer is not jeopardizable. We don't jeopardize the prayer unless there's a pillar's gone. Like the sujood, you did not put the 7 limbs. Your feet are flying. That's not accepted. Or your aura is showing. It's not accepted. But something like this is to deduct from the reward. The prayer is accepted. Okay? Otherwise, we're going to invalidate lots of prayers here. Be careful. Now, Fadal, Uncle, do you have any question?
Yes, when you make intention, how do you make your intention?
How do I make my intention? My intention, Uncle, is just basically I know what I'm doing. That's all. How do you make your intention, Uncle, when you go to the toilet? Because there's something pushing, isn't it? Same thing with the prayer. Something is pushing you to come to do the prayer. You don't stop in front of the toilet, hang on a second, let me make my intention. No. So you know you're going to the toilet because you need the toilet. So you come to the prayer, you do the prayer because you need to do the prayer. That's the intention. So I know what I'm doing. And I'll give you a simple example to distinguish as well. When the person is making his, let's say, ghusl. So, person who is, I'm sexually defiled, I'm going to make a ghusl. So he is now at the moment, because he was with his wife or whatever, and he wants to make ghusl, intention is there is to remove the janabah. But let's say he forgot he's got the janabah. And he said, I'm smelly, let me go and have a wash. And he did not recall the removal of the janabah, his wash will not be accepted for the removal of the janabah. You understand me, Uncle? Because he forgot to do that. He just did it because he smells. He wants to have a nice smell. He wants to remove the dirt. But he has to be in the back of his mind, and he wants to do the janabah. Let's say that the person forgot that he was on janabah. And it was a Jumu'ah day. And he forgot that he had intercourse with his wife. So he made his ghusl for the Jumu'ah. He made his ghusl what? For the Jumu'ah. And then he did the Jumu'ah. Then he remembered, oh, I was on janabah. Don't worry. Your Jumu'ah will suffice, inshallah. Because the Jumu'ah, there is ghusl wajib. If you remembered the janabah at that time, you have to do the 2 ghusl. But if you did not remember, the ghusl, this will suffice because it is legitimate ghusl. Okay? So no problem, and it will suffice you. You understand that now? Yes.
When we make the sujood, we keep the fingers together, but not the thumb.
The thumb, if you can keep it with it, keep it. But some people, they find it difficult. So, all of them together. The thumb unit. Now, you can't do the tawarruk. You can't do the tawarruk. If you can't do it, if you can't even do the sujood, so no problem. So what about the tawarruk? So no problem. لا يكلف الله نفسا إلا وسعها. So you have to really make sure that you are able. If you're not able, then فاتقوا الله ما استطعتم. Now, تفضل يحيى.
What about keeping the finger pointed when exiting?
Pointing the finger is not going to be implementing the hadith of Prophet ﷺ كان يحركها.
When you point the finger, you exit with the salam.
Oh, can I? When do I stop my finger? Do I stop it before the salam or after the? Is that what you understand? So your finger kept to, from the we said. As soon as you sit for the tashahhud, your finger is up, and then your dua and everything, and that finger is coupled with your dua. So when your dua is finished, your finger is what? Finished. Your dua is finished, so it's finished. So, salam alaikum, salam alaikum. You understand me?
If you keep it pointed and you give the salam,
You keep pointing at the salam, this is like, is your salam dua? Because some people they call it dua, because there's a difference among the scholars as well. So that is why I have seen as well some student knowledge, they keep doing like this, because they are what? But I say that this is for the dua in the prayer, not the salutation. So I've seen our Shaykh al-Bani, he will put his finger down and then he salutate. Okay? Now, Zakallah. Fadal Khattab.
some people raise their
About, hang on. I got 2 minutes, please. Spare idea?
56.
That's it. Yeah. 2 minutes.
Some people raise their finger between the 2 sections.
Okay, very good. Some of the people that raise up their finger between the 2 sections. I have seen that even from students of knowledge. That is not authentic, and raising of the finger is in the second sajda, after the second sajda, not in between two sajda. Another question? That's it? Just an istirah, yeah, because it is because every time they sit, they make tashahhud. Yeah, we've seen. Now, if there's any questions? I make the taslim behind the imam. First taslim, I make first taslim with him. Second taslim, I make second taslim with him. I don't wait. Now, you got 1 second.
Concentrating in tashahhud, can you repeat again tashahhud twice?
No, don't repeat the tashahhud twice. Don't. Because you said it, you said it. Basically, you're not concentrating, you're going to be repeating lots of things. Now, Fatiha, I'm not concentrating. Let me repeat the Fatiha. It's endless. Don't listen to the shaitan. Okay? Keep repeating Fatiha and then to everything. And then you ruku', I'm not concentrating because you're going to repeat the ruku'. Be careful. Alright? جزاك الله خيرا. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك. أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك.